What's up, friends? Welcome back to my channel. I hope you all are doing well. Today, we're getting bougie and we're getting Gucci. This is my review of the newest release from Gucci Beauty. These are their beautiful blushes. I'm super excited to do this review for you guys. I'm gonna be doing cheek applications, eye applications, daylight swatches, giving you guys all of my thoughts on how these compare to other blushes in the luxury market. So if you're interested in hearing all of my thoughts and if these blushes are worth your hard-earned cash, then keep watching. Before we get started, if you are new here, welcome, welcome. My name is Sophia and this is my channel where we talk about all things beauty and luxury. I upload content every single week on all the newest luxury beauty releases. So if you love makeup, especially kind of nice, fancy, bougie makeup or just luxury in general, then you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button to join the fam because we have so much fun over here on this channel. And you can also hit the notification bell to hear about every time I upload a new video. Believe it or not, I have a lot of you guys watching my channel that are not subscribed, about 60 to 65%. So definitely subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you find it helpful. It lets me know what kind of content you guys like. I'm going to be doing my best to tell you all about this launch. I'll link everything that I mentioned in the description box down below if I can. And with that, let's get into this review. All right, friends, let's get into this release. So Gucci Beauty, if you have never tried anything from them before, they have launched a bunch of things in their product line. I want to say they launched maybe about 2 years ago. My favorite products from Gucci Beauty so far have been number one, their lipsticks. Chef's kiss, so good. And then number two, their bronzer. This is one of my favorite powder bronzers of all time. I have the shade Fair. I am wearing this today. And when I heard that Gucci was going to be launching blushes, I got very excited because, like I said, I really like their bronzer. I have not tried their setting powder just because I'm not a setting powder kind of person, but the bronzer I love. Now, let's take a look at these blushes. Now, there are 6 shades in the lineup. I was not able to get shade number 4, which is called Sweet Peach, but I'll kind of talk about what the tone of that one looks like. And if I can get it later on, I will get that and I will swatch and compare for you guys. Now, these are retailing for $49 in the US. I do see that these are rolling out across the UK and Europe right now. I was able to get these by calling Gucci client services here in the US. I know that the 04 Sweet Peach color was available for maybe a couple of hours on the Gucci website, so keep an eye out, guys. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you definitely need to head over there and follow me. I will put my handle up here. That's when I let you guys know when these things launch on the website. So if I see them launch on the website, I will definitely alert you there first, and also in the community tab if you are a subscriber of my channel. But I just want to let you guys know I was able to get these via client services, and if you live in maybe the UK or Europe, you might be able to get them at a couple of other retailers. So I will do my best to link all of those down below. I want to read you guys the description that I found on the Gucci website about these blushes. It says, Gucci Beauty presents Gucci Blush De Beauté, the house's first powder blush made for pure creative expression. Its adaptable formula of smooth powders and pigments is infused with emollient waxes to deliver buildable, long-lasting color that intensifies seamlessly layer after layer. It also says, the hydrating ultra-thin powder cares for all skin types with an infusion of shea butter, hyaluronic acid, and black rose oil, blending easily for a second skin feel. So these are supposed to be buildable, very silky, very long lasting, and also I guess kind of skincare-y, although that's not really what I look for in a blush, but I will comment a little bit later what I think of this formula and how I think it compares to other luxury blushes on the market. Like a lot of other luxury formulas, these are made in Italy and they have a shelf life of 12 months. These are also lightly scented. I don't really find the scent super overwhelming. I know that some of you have very sensitive noses, you're very sensitive to smell, so I like to point that out. I'm not the kind of person that really likes scents in my skincare all that much, but if it's just blush and I'm not kind of putting it all over my face, I don't really mind. Now, looking at the Gucci website, it says that the scent is called Vintage Peony, a vintage floral accord composed of peony and freesia and modernized by a watery citrus accord and evanescent musky notes. That sounds very sophisticated. I don't think that these smell that sophisticated. They just kind of have that like light powdery floral scent that you get from a lot of other like scented makeup. So I just want to mention that in case that's something you guys like or in case it's something that you don't like. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about the packaging and show you guys some close-ups of what it looks like. This is so stunning. I love the beautiful little stars. I love the nude lacquer. It does feel very luxurious. It feels weighty. You know, on the inside, this little sort of ring around here, this is plastic, but I love the beautiful sort of lacquered top. It's very similar to the bronzer. It's also very similar to like the eyeshadow palette packaging that a lot of you guys enjoy. I do want to mention This little bit right here, I kind of struggled with it thinking that I needed to open it like this. It's very easy to open. So all you have to do is kind of pull it apart like that. Pretty easy to open if you're someone like me and you have long nails. I do just want to mention that some things can be a little bit tricky to open, but in general, I think this packaging is so stunning. I think it's super weighty and luxurious. I also want to show you guys a comparison side by side of the blushes up against the bronzer. Now with the blushes, you are getting 5.5 grams, and with the bronzer, you are getting 12 grams. So you're getting almost double the product with the bronzer, which it makes sense because it is a bronzer, you're using more of it. I also want to point out that with the bronzer, you do get a brush in this little bottom compartment and kind of just pops out like this. But with the blushes, we do not get a brush. It is very much just a small little condensed compact, and then inside you have the product. So want to mention that as well. Lastly, when it comes to the size and the packaging, I do just want to say that when I ordered these from Gucci, it came packaged just like if you get a bag or an accessory from Gucci. The box was super pretty. It was really well packaged, and also it came with a little dust bag. I mean, I have little dust bags for each of them. So I know a lot of you guys, you enjoy that experience and you love it when things come with these sort of little pouches. So I want to mention that also. So those are all the basic details about the product, what you're getting, how much it costs, the packaging. Now I'm going to get into swatches of all of the shades. Once again, I have 5 out of 6 of the shades. I'm going to be showing you guys first what the product looks like in the pan. Then I will show you a daylight swatch, and then I will show you a daylight application, not only on the cheeks, but also on the eyes, because it does say on the website that you can wear these on the eyes, and I love to do that with my bronzers, blushes, and highlights, just kind of mix and match. And these are really expensive, like they're $50 blushes, so you better be able to wear them on the eyes. So let's get into that. First up, we have number 01. This is called Silky Rose. This is definitely the lightest color in the entire range, and I would describe this as a very gentle and feminine pink. It's a very sort of bright, bubbly, kind of bubblegum floral kind of pink. If you're somebody that likes a good standard pink, and if you have a fairer complexion like me, then I think you are going to really enjoy this shade. Next, we have number 02, and this is called Tender Apricot. I think Tender Apricot is the perfect name for this because it really is that perfect apricot shade, but it's super soft across the cheeks. You guys are going to notice in the application, these blushes, they're not glittery, but they definitely have a very soft, blendable, and kind of glowy sheen to the skin. And this is definitely great if you want something that has kind of like that orangey peachy tone, but definitely kind of brought down and very soft on the cheeks, especially for those with fairer complexions. Next up, we have number 3, which is called Radiant Pink. Now this is a brighter and more intense, more pigmented pink than number 01, Silky Rose. This is going to be great, you know, if you have a fairer complexion and you just wanted something that was a little brighter, or if you have a medium or tanner complexion and you want something that is better suited to your skin tone than the first pink that is in the range. The next color is the one that I don't have. That is number 4, Sweet Peach. And by the looks of it, I think that it is just kind of like a deeper and maybe slightly like more pink tone type of peach than number 02, Tender Apricot. If I can get that one for you guys, I will do an update and some swatches and thoughts on that, but that is the one that I do not have. Next up, we have the one that I have on my cheeks and my eyes today. This is number 5, Rosy Beige. I like to describe this one as a romantic neutral. It's almost like a nude mixed with a berry. If you want something that is kind of perfect for fall, that has color and kind of a very blushed romantic tone to it, but you don't want to go too crazy and too vibrant, then I think this is perfect for you. I love the way that this looks on the eyes. I think it looks so gorgeous. I also am wearing this, by the way. I just wanted to show you guys this with the Dior Couture Luminizer in the shade Rosewood. Are these not a match made in heaven? I will link this down below. I also have a review of all the shades of these Dior highlighters, and I think that it just looks stunning. So I put the blush all over my eyes, and then I kind of put the highlighter just like on the center of the lid, in the inner corner, and of course on the cheekbones. Lastly, we have the deepest color in the range. This is number 6, Warm Berry. This is perfect for fall. This is just your perfect fall, winter, autumnal, like flushed beautiful berry shade. If you're someone like me and you love these kinds of deeper berry tones, this is going to be great. I used a very light hand on my fair skin and I had absolutely no problem blending this out and getting like a really diffuse color, but I think this also is going to work really well on tanner and deeper skin tones because you definitely can build this up. You definitely can build it up. For me, I used a very light hand. Next, I want to show you what all these shades look like side by side so you guys can get a bird's eye view in daylight. Feel free to pause the video if you need to. I am going to show you guys swatches of all of these in order. So here you can see the swatches of every single shade that I have. 01 Silky Rose, 02 Tender Apricot, 03 Radiant Pink, 05 Rosy Beige, and 06 Warm Berry. I also thought it would be helpful to swatch the two pink shades that I have here, which are 01 Silky Rose and 03 Radiant Pink. You guys will see, like, these are pretty similar. It really isn't until I kind of tilt my hand to the side that you can see that these are a bit different. I think that Silky Rose, it just has a bit of a little bit more of like a frosty character that I think lends itself really well to fairer skin tones. I think that when you put them on the cheeks, you definitely can tell that Radiant Pink, it's brighter and a little bit deeper in tone, but they're not that far off. They're not that far off. They're pretty similar. I also have a side-by-side swatch of the two deepest colors. So we have number 05 Rosy Beige and number 6 Warm Berry. These are not super similar, but I just kind of wanted to show these to you guys in case you're choosing between these. These were definitely the two colors that I was most interested in because I love these types of tones and I love nudie and purpley and also rusty types of blushes. So wanted to show you a comparison of both of these. I think with the Rosy Beige, it's obviously way more toned down. It's a little bit more approachable for you all, but if you have a deeper skin tone, man, you're gonna wanna go with the berry. All right, friends, I hope that those swatches and the application were helpful for you. Now I'm gonna talk about what do I think of these blushes? Do I recommend them? How do I think they compare to maybe other blushes that we all have in our collection? Starting off with the packaging. I love the packaging. I think it's so cute. I feel like most people unanimously agree that they love the packaging of the Gucci bronzer. So I'm sort of anticipating that a lot of you guys are going to like the packaging of these blushes as well. I know for some, they find the stars maybe to be a little bit childish or a little bit tacky. Personally, I like it. I also think it's very on brand for Gucci. You see the star motif in a lot of like their fashion, their accessories. The packaging is weighty, it's luxe, it's beautiful, it's shiny. It's pretty much exactly what I would be hoping for a $49 blush. These are expensive, and I know I kind of harp on this a lot, guys, but if I'm paying $49 for a blush, I want really beautiful packaging, and this is giving it to me. I feel like I can display these on my vanity. I feel also it's pretty easy to open up. It doesn't come with a brush, but for me, that's really not super disappointing because I really don't use the brush that come with most products. I have never really used the one that comes with the bronzer. You guys can see in here, like, it's basically unused. It's perfectly clean. So that is not a con for me, but comment down below if that's something that's really important to you. I would love to hear your feedback. All in all, packaging A+. Now let's talk about the formula. This formula, it's so good. It's really good. I won't lie to you. I will be perfectly honest with you guys. I think that this formula absolutely stunning. What do I like about it? It's very silky, number one. It's silky, it's smooth, it's easy to work with. Even with the more pigmented colors like this one, the Warm Berry, it's still very easy to blend across the cheek. You might want to have a lighter hand if you're super pale like me, but I have no problem just kind of gliding it across the cheek. You guys saw in the demo, that is a real life daylight application. Every single shade went on so beautifully. It's a very silky to the touch sort of powdery type of feel. I really don't or haven't gotten any kind of like kick up in the pan. It doesn't make a mess. It's really great. Like, good job, Gucci. I think the formula is fantastic. What I also like about this is that they're glowy. They're not glittery. They're not gonna be like super glowy, like a highlighter blush type of situation. But you guys can see, you know, right here on the apple of my cheek, just kind of that beautiful natural sheen that it creates. I like a glowy blush. And I think too, you know, if you're someone that doesn't like to use highlighter and you want something that's a little more natural, or maybe your skin's a little more mature, then I think you're really gonna enjoy this. I also really like the way that that sheen looks across the eyes, but I will say if you're someone that you really don't want any type of glow, these might not be for you because they don't have a matte texture. They do have a beautiful glowy sheen. Now, I attempted to compare the formula to that of the bronzer, and I must say they are pretty similar. They have the same kind of silky, blendable, user-friendly kind of texture. The main difference being the bronzers, to me, I don't know, comment down below. I think that these are very much a matte formula. I don't get any glowiness from this. It's not like an Hourglass bronzer or the Wayne Goss bronzer. Those are the bronzers I go to when I want that kind of glowy bronzer type of look. So the bronzers very much are matte, but the blushes are glowy. That's the biggest difference. Otherwise, of course, the fact that, you know, the packaging is bigger here, you get the brush, you get more product, etc. Now, what are the things that I don't really like about these blushes? My main gripe is honestly just the shade range. I don't think that 6 blushes is a bad start in terms of the number of shades, not at all. I'm just a little bit disappointed that some of the shades really look very, very similar. For example, you guys saw like number 01 Silky Rose and number 03 Radiant Pink. Like, you don't need both of these. They are way too similar. Way too similar. I'm also like, I'm not a big pinky pink kind of blush person. My favorite shade is the one that I'm wearing. It is the Rosy Beige. That's my favorite. And so I really wanted to see from Gucci a range of shades that was a little bit more akin to their lipsticks. If you guys aren't familiar, they have so many lipstick shades, and not only in your classic, you know, like reds and pinks and nudes. Yo, they got some funky colors. And I'm not saying we need like a green blush or anything like that. I just wanted like each blush to sort of stand on its own, and I really think that the 2 pink shades, they're too similar. It's not like an interesting enough shade range for me. While I don't have the sweet peach shade, I do sort of anticipate it just being a deeper version of the tender apricot. So comment down below, let me know, what did you think of the shade range? Do you think that this is kind of boring? Do you think that Gucci could have done a little bit better? I mean, maybe this is just a good baseline for them, and then they're gonna come out with some more seasonal shades for us in the future. One can only hope. I mean, they've released more shades and sort of formulas of their lip products and all of that. So that's my one biggest gripe. Like, this shade range is not that interesting, and it doesn't really fit in with kind of the funkiness and just like the differentiation that you see from the other products that are in the brand. So in terms of how these compare to other blushes, I think that the closest formula that I can find to this is the Suku Pure Color Blush. I'll show you guys an example here. What is this one? This is number 6 Haru Sumire, excuse my pronunciation. And this is what these blushes look like. They similarly have a very silky blendable feel, and they also have kind of like a radiant, somewhat glowy look to the skin. If you have a lot of these, maybe you don't need to pick up these ones from Gucci. Although the thing about the Suku ones is that they are a little hard to get because Suku isn't sold in the US, so you usually have to pay for shipping. You know, they're also fairly pricey. The packaging isn't as cute. So just kind of keep that in mind. But I think that the closest formulation that I could find are these from Suku. They are some of my favorite blushes, so it makes sense that I would like the ones from Gucci. Furthermore, when comparing it against Pat McGrath, I do think that these are a little bit similar to the pearly finishes from Pat McGrath. If you guys have Desert Orchid, for example, that shade is a pearl finish. These are a little bit similar to that. I do think that the Pat McGrath blushes are a little bit more pigmented, and obviously like the color range, to me, it's just more appealing. Now, comparing it against the NARS formula, I think in general NARS, it just doesn't have the same like airy blendable finish as these ones from Gucci, and because of that, I think that the NARS formula is just, it's more richly pigmented. Looking at 2 of my glowier blush formulas in my collection, I would say compared to the Hourglass formula, these, they swatch more sheer. Like, the Hourglass formula is just airier. It's almost like you don't have blush on your skin, like you're naturally just kind of glowing from within. The Gucci ones are more pigmented. These are definitely like, they're a step up on the glowy scale. Sorry guys, I had to adjust my camera because the sun is setting right in front of me. The final formula that I wanted to comment on is the one from M Cosmetics, because this is the other very glowy formula that I have in my collection. I think the ones from M Cosmetics, they are probably some of the glowiest ones that I have in my collection. The Gucci ones, much more subtle. I think they're gonna cater better towards like a wider audience, probably also a more mature audience. So I wanted to mention that as well. These ones from M Cosmetics, they're just like a little bit more glowy, that they're probably closer to the Hourglass than the Gucci. Real quick, because I know that people are going to ask this, but I do not have any of the blushes from Hermes. I feel like those are the natural comparison that would pop into my head. I have watched a lot of reviews of those blushes, and it seems like the formula is really nice, but a lot of folks were kind of disappointed about the packaging. Those are also more expensive from the Gucci, and I don't really think that the shade range is really anything better than the Gucci. So while I don't have those blushes, I would probably look into these from Gucci if you were sort of always intrigued by the Hermes blushes, but you thought they were just too expensive. If you can stomach the $49 price tags of the one from Gucci, I might recommend trying this first before dipping your toes into the Hermes. All right, friends, those are my thoughts about these blushes. I really like these, but what I recommend to you all is maybe just start off with one color, two colors. I really don't think that you need all of the shades, because like you guys saw in the swatches and the application, some of them are pretty similar. The way that I would probably approach it is ask yourself, do you want a pink blush? Do you want a peachy blush? Or do you want something that is a little more kind of mauvey purple leaning? And then from there, kind of go off of your skin tone, or if you prefer something that's a little bit more or less pigmented, because both of the pinky shades are pretty similar, and by the looks of it, so are the peachy ones. If you've been watching my channel, it should be no surprise to you that I really like the two deepest colors. These are the ones that I recommend if you want something that's a little more unique. Although, of course, I know a lot of people, they like pink blush, they like peachy blush, but these are the ones that I'm gonna be rocking for fall. I think in general, Rosy Beige is gonna be the one that's probably the most universally good for the most amount of skin tones, still wearable, and also looks absolutely stunning on the eyes. I like that these are multi-purpose. I think that they're beautiful. And yes, I do think that these are worth the $49, at least for me, because I think that they stand up to all of the claims. So if you have a color that you're interested in, pick one up, try it out, and most importantly, comment down below and let me know what you thought of this review. Let me know if you guys have picked any of these up, or if you plan to. I would love to know all of your thoughts and start off a conversation in the comment section down below. And if you're not subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button to join the fam. If you're unsure, head on over to my channel and take a look at some of the other videos. Some of my favorite brands are Dior, Tom Ford, Pat McGrath, Natasha Denona, Chanel. If you like any of those brands, then you're definitely in the right place. And you can also follow me on Instagram if you want to connect with me on the reg. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I will see you in my next one. Goodbye.